Do you know, when a cunning criminal plans the perfect crime, he prepares well in advance to erase every single clue. On the other hand, the police are also always alert. But the question is, if there's not even the slightest hint of a crime, how will anyone catch the criminal? Today we'll show you a high-profile crime case. Not only was it the first of its kind in its state, but the way it was executed will make you wonder, is it really possible for someone to do something like this? Before we begin this video, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to our terrifying crime channel. Today, we're talking about the Mahi Singh Alliance Dolly Arya case. This incident begins in the Haldwani police station area of Nainital district, Uttarakhand. The date was 15th July 2023. It was early morning. People were slowly starting their daily routines. Activity in the city had just begun. Near an area called Teen Pani in Haldwani, across the Gola River, there's a region where something strange caught people's attention. Close to the railway crossing, some local shopkeepers and passers-by noticed a blue Volkswagen Polo parked there. The car looked suspicious. Its engine was running, but all the windows were tightly closed. Maybe someone had just stopped there for some work. Since the engine was on, people assumed the person would leave soon. But time passed, and still no one came to take the car. Curiosity started to build. A few people approached the vehicle and peered inside through the closed windows. They saw a man sitting in the back seat. At first, it seemed like he was sleeping. But the car had been locked and sealed for a while now. Seeing someone sitting like that inside a closed vehicle started to worry people. What if he's suffocating? They called out to him, tapped gently on the window, even shook the car a little, but the man showed no movement at all. They tried again and again to wake him up, but he didn't respond. If he had just been asleep, surely he would have woken up by now. The man wasn't even breathing. Was he unconscious? As word spread around the neighborhood, more people gathered. Someone finally called Haldwani police and informed them about the suspicious vehicle and the unmoving man inside. Soon the police arrived. They called a mechanic and somehow got the car door opened. The moment they checked the man, no breathing, no pulse, no heartbeat. The police immediately suspected he was dead. Still, to be absolutely sure, they rushed him to the nearby hospital. The doctors checked and confirmed he was already dead. The man looked like he belonged to a decent, well-off family. He had a good build, appeared healthy. So how did he die? Doctors and police both inspected the body carefully. There were no visible injuries, nothing to indicate a fight or physical trauma. No marks on his neck or face. His clothes were clean and tidy. If there had been any sort of scuffle, surely there would have been some signs. When the car door was opened, the AC was still running and the entire car felt cold. Was this death due to lack of oxygen? The car was sealed from all sides. No air could pass through. Or had someone placed him here in an unconscious state? If so, why didn't he try to escape? Why didn't he try to open the doors or call for help? Police started investigating all these angles. Who was this man? Whose car was it? Who brought it and left it here? They also needed to hand over the body to the family. But identifying the deceased didn't take long. Just the night before 14th July, some people had come to Haldwani police station. They said their son had left in his car that morning for work, but hadn't returned by evening. Night passed, and he still didn't come home. His phone was off. He wasn't with friends or at work. The family searched everywhere, but nothing turned up. Finally, in frustration, they came to the police and filed a missing persons report. Their son was a well-known businessman in the city. He often traveled for work. The police reassured the family, saying maybe he had gone somewhere for business and would return soon. Still, they took down all the information and registered the case. The missing man's name was Ankit Chauhan, 32 years old. He owned an automobile spare parts showroom on Rampur Road. He also dealt in vehicles and ran a restaurant. A prominent businessman in Haldwani. On the night of 14th of July, his missing report was filed, and on the morning of 15th of July, a body was found near the railway crossing. Police now called Ankit Chauhan's family to identify the body. And the moment they saw it, they knew it was him. Do you know, when a cunning criminal plans the perfect crime, he usually prepares in advance to eliminate every trace. On the other hand, the police also stay prepared. But the question is, when there's no hint of a crime, how will they catch the culprit? Today, we'll show you a high-profile crime case that was not only the first of its kind in the state, but the way it was executed will leave you wondering, can someone really do something like this? Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Today we're talking about the Mahi Singh alias Dolly Arya case. This incident begins in the Haldwani police station area of Nainital district, Uttarakhand. The date was 15th July 2023. It was early morning. People were slowly starting their day. There was hustle and bustle in the air. Near a place called Teen Pani in Haldwani, just after crossing the Gola area, some local shopkeepers and residents noticed a blue car parked close to a railway crossing. It was a Volkswagen Polo. The car looked suspicious. Its engine was running, but all the windows were tightly shut. People thought, maybe someone came here for work and will leave soon. But time kept passing and no one came for the car. Curious, some people went near the car and peeked inside. On the back seat, they saw a man sitting. But was he really sitting? He looked like he was sleeping. The windows had been closed for quite some time now. Concern began to rise. Was he running out of air? They knocked on the windows, tried calling out to him, even rocked the car. But he didn't respond. If he was just asleep, he would have woken up by now. But he didn't move. Not even a single breath. Could he be unconscious? Soon, a small crowd gathered. Someone called the Haldwani police and explained everything. A suspicious car and an unresponsive man inside. The police arrived quickly. With the help of a mechanic, they opened the car. They checked the man. No breathing, no pulse, no heartbeat. It was clear he was dead. Still, he was rushed to the nearest hospital, where the doctors confirmed it. He had passed away. He appeared to be from a well-off family, well-built and healthy. Then how did he die? No injuries, no bruises, nothing to suggest a fight or accident. The face looked fine, clothes were proper. The AC was still running when the car was opened. The car itself was ice cold. Could he have died due to lack of oxygen? The car was completely sealed, no airflow possible. Was he left here in an unconscious state? Why didn't he try to get out? Why didn't he try to breathe harder or move? The police now had more questions than answers. First, they had to find out, who was this man? Whose car was it? Who parked it here? They also needed to inform the family. Luckily, the identification didn't take long. Just the previous night, 14th July, some people had come to the police station reporting a missing person. Their son had left in the morning with his car and never returned. They tried calling him, his phone was off. He wasn't with friends or at work. They searched everywhere, but found nothing. Eventually, they filed a missing person report. That young man was a well-known businessman. Often traveled for work. His name Ankit Chauhan, 32 years old. He owned a showroom on Rampur Road selling auto parts, dealt in vehicles, and even ran a restaurant. A prominent businessman in Haldwani. That night, they filed a report. The next morning, his body was found near the railway crossing. The police called his family to identify the body. They saw him and broke down. It was their son, the only earning member of the family, and he was gone. Grief hit the family like a mountain. Ramesh and Mahi had become good friends. Later, Ramesh told the police that in June 2023, Mahi invited him to her house. At that time, apart from Mahi, her friend Deepak Kanpal, her maid Usha Rani, and Usha's husband Ram Avatar were also present. During a Kal Sarp Dosh ritual, Ram Avatar approached Ramesh, who was a snake charmer, asking for a snake. Mahi then seated Ramesh with everyone and told him that she had a boyfriend named Ankit Chauhan who had been troubling her. He was blackmailing her using some objectionable photos and videos. Interestingly, Deepak Kanpal was also Mahi's boyfriend. Even Ramesh had become close to her. When the police discovered the names of the maid and the servant, they also found Usha Rani's number on Mahi's phone. Through that, they found Ram Avatar's number too. All these numbers were put under surveillance. Shockingly, all these people's phones had switched off at the same time, indicating that they were all involved. Mahi had lied to Ramesh, telling him that Ankit was blackmailing her and ruining her life, so he must be eliminated. Deepak, Usha, and Ram Avatar agreed to the plan. But initially, Ramesh refused to participate in the murder and left. However, Mahi tried to manipulate him. She got close to him, chatted over the phone, and eventually Ramesh, being in love with her, agreed. She also promised him $10,000 for the murder. Now all 5 people planned to intoxicate Ankit, and once unconscious, they would have a snake bite him, making it look like an accidental death. No one would suspect murder. Mahi was the mastermind, and Deepak Kanpal was closely assisting her. On July 6, 2023, Ramesh got a call about a snake spotted at a beauty parlor. He rescued the snake and kept it in a plastic bottle. On July 8th, Ankit's birthday, Mahi invited him for a party at her house. Everyone, Deepak, Usha, Ram Avatar, and Ramesh, had already hidden in the house. Mahi and Ankit celebrated together. She gave him a lot of alcohol, hoping he'd pass out. But he didn't. He stayed awake and left late at night. The plan failed. Then, on July 14th, Mahi called Ankit again, inviting him to party. This time, she also added sleeping pills to the plan. When Ankit asked for water, she mixed the medicine in it and gave him alcohol too, ensuring he passed out. By then, Ramesh had already been hiding in the house since 2 p.m. Mahi called Deepak, who arrived on a scooter. This time, Ramesh had brought a very venomous cobra. When Ankit lay unconscious on the bed, Deepak, Usha, and Ram Avatar held his hands so he couldn't resist even if he woke up. Ramesh brought the snake and made it bite Ankit's leg. When Mahi thought the bite wasn't deep enough, she asked for a second bite, and Ramesh obeyed. After some time, Deepak took Ankit's car and placed the body in the back seat, with the servant Ram Avatar sitting next to it. They headed toward Bujiaghat, planning to throw the car into a gorge. Ramesh followed them on his scooter. But when they reached, they saw many tourists there. They couldn't execute the plan. So Ramesh called Mahi, who told them to leave the car near a railway crossing. She had already booked a taxi for Delhi. The group, Mahi, Usha, and her 2 kids, reached the car, turned on the AC, checked that all windows were closed to keep the body preserved, and left for Delhi. Ramesh released the snake into a jungle and received $10,000 from Mahi. The maid and her husband were also paid the same. Later they traveled to Bareilly and then to Delhi. Eventually they split up. The servant and maid fled to West Bengal, while Mahi and Deepak stayed in different hotels. Ramesh, however, turned his phone back on while traveling, which led police to his location. Hearing about Nepal and the plan, Uttarakhand police alerted all border areas and even considered contacting Interpol. Usha Rani's call records led to West Bengal. On July 23, 2023, Mahi and Deepak were arrested near Rudrapur's Anja Inter College while planning to surrender in court. Mahi had consulted a lawyer who advised her to surrender. Mahi was a free-spirited woman who had studied only till high school. She reportedly dropped out in 2008 after a breakup and left her home. She fell into the wrong company and lifestyle. She met Deepak in 2016, and they became close. Some reports say the house she lived in was gifted to her, while others say she bought land and built it herself in 2017. Neighbors reported seeing luxury cars at her place, hearing loud music, and frequent fights. Her contacts included influential businessmen and politicians, over 20 of them. In 2020, she met Ankit while buying a car. they fell in love. About 2 years before the crime, she hired Usha Rani as a maid. They became close and often drank together. Ankit didn't like this and even stopped Mahi from visiting Usha. Sometimes, to escape him, Mahi would stay at Usha's shack. When Ankit found out, he pressured the landowner to evict Usha and her family. They were rendered homeless, giving them a motive to hate Ankit. Mahi then brought Usha's family into her home. Ankit would sometimes come over drunk and even hit Mahi. This led her to the idea of killing him. She researched online how to commit murder, how to destroy evidence, and came up with the idea of using a snake. Deepak suggested involving Ramesh, the snake charmer, as only he could handle a snake. That's how Ramesh got involved, through Mahi's lies. All 5 were arrested and sent to jail. However, on August 2, 2024, Mahi got bail. The rest remained behind bars. This was Uttarakhand's first case where a murder was committed using a snake. Friends, the purpose of sharing this story is not to hurt anyone's feelings or sensationalize crime, but to make you aware and to stay cautious. What do you think about this shocking case? Let us know in the comments, and if you appreciated the effort behind this story, don't forget to like and share the video. Subscribe to our channel for more such real stories. Thank you.